and whatever it's called in actual French. Tell us
I
what
think
this
it's
is
called
about, please.
Loup-Garou, but I'm not sure what the pronunciation is. Basically, this is a French Jumanji. This is a family who living in this rural town. They find this board game, but there's a bit of like info at the beginning saying how this man wearing a wolfskin coat posted these little wooden tokens through different villagers' doors, and they became werewolves. And after
Yeah.
dark, they sort of ravaged this village. And then jump forward 400 years, and a family are in this cottage. They want to have a bit of together time, so they started playing this board game, and they each get dealt a ticket. Then the world shudders, and they go back in time to the village as it was 400 years ago. And then they have to try to work out who the werewolves are, so that if when the game is played and when the werewolves are revealed, they can go back to their own time. So it's like Jumanji meets Time Slip or whatever that Michael Crichton one was called.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, yeah.
so it's obviously in French. So a lot of the game, I think a lot of the humor, because it was built as a comedy, I think a lot of the humor is in you hear them making like word jokes, where sort of words that rhyme or sound very similar, and obviously it doesn't work in translation. There's one
Yeah.
thing where they're talking about le bébé and le bête, and they're like le bête bébé, and they're like going back and forth with the same words. I'm thinking this is probably really funny in French, but to me, I'm watching it going, yeah, she's a baby, she's a baby, and she's now a werewolf. She's a baby and she's a beast. And I'm like, what am I not hearing about this? So it's a family film, so obviously the werewolves look the baby werewolf looks like a teddy bear, and the older werewolves look someone they just zip themselves into their costume. So it's very broad, I would say. So if you like broad French play on words humor with a little hint of Jumanji thrown in, the first Jumanji, I mean, then with sort of very clean looking French peasants in a very clean looking rural French town, then I'm sure you might have a great time. I found it a little bit, I don't know why I'm watching this, but I've got to review something this week, so I'll stick it out again. It was entertaining in a please don't think about it sort of way. So I would give it a 2.
Okay, 2
And
for...
so if you want to you want to practice your French, by turning off your subtitles, you probably would get more out of it by doing that.
Oh, all right, cool. And figuring out the French wordplay. Because you were talking about that, it sounds like it's there's a game that is sometimes called Werewolves, it's sometimes called Mafia. Whenever I played it's called Mafia.
It's called Werewolves, yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's like a film version of that.
I think it is based on a game, yeah. Whether it's I don't know whether it's a board game or whether it is a computer game, I don't really know.
It's the game is usually just kind of like, it's like a campfire game. It's a campfire game, like, where you have to sort of figure out who the werewolf is before the sun rises, and then like
yes,
and then
that sort of game, yeah.
Yeah. That and it's what I'm convinced that the TV show The Traitors on BBC is based on this game, even though I've never actually watched The Traitors. So 2 stars for the family pack. All right, thank you for that. You saved us 2 minutes, and let's move on, and we are gonna go back to cinema.